Hello and welcome to Main Street Sports. We are live via the video chat today. I'm going to start our basketball season here shortly. It's right around the corner. Jeff Whitener all the way on the right side over there. We got Ken Jones from the Crystal City Hornets with us here. Ken, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm going to turn things over here to Jeff. He's got the first recap and questions for you. We're going to take off here.
Snuck up on us already here. It seems like, football season ends abruptly and we're ready to go with winter sports. And I'm sure for Ken and his acting dual role there as AD, he probably feels the same way. It's first of all, Ken, congratulations on Crystal City's football season. A great year for Dan Fox and the guys over there.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It was exciting to see. We've been working on that for a few years now. The kids that are there now are ones that have come up through the strength and conditioning program that Coach Fox runs, and I think we got a dandy coaching staff together there in football. And we had a really good fall with football, and volleyball had a really nice season. So. We're just kind of hoping to continue that on into the winter.
Keep it rolling here. That's right. Well, let's look at Crystal City girls last season. 10-15 overall record, 1-4 in conference play. Fell to Bismarck in the Class 2 District 4 quarterfinal. And I believe, and let me know if this is correct, you graduated 3 players last year?
3, yes, that's correct.
Okay, but you still have you're retained the services of 2 of our favorites, Main Street sports standouts, Kate Eisenbeiss and Molly Clemens. And I know those will be key to your team this year. Ken, how many seasons does this make for you now coaching the Lady Hornets?
This is year 20 as the head coach, my 22nd year in the program. I was the varsity assistant JV coach my first 2 years. So 22 total, 20. This is year number 20. As you can tell by looking at the beard, we're starting to get up there a little bit.
I'm there with you there. Well, let me ask you, what keeps you coming back? I mean, you're a man that has to wear a lot of hats at a small school, AD and all that. What is it that keeps you coming back and coaching basketball?
Well, I love the game. It gives me an opportunity to keep working with kids. As AD and director of transportation, I'm not in the classroom anymore, but coaching is my number one drive. And I had phenomenal coaches in my upbringing that it's why I'm here, and what I'm still doing is because of that positive experience I had from my coaches back in the day. So I'm hoping that I'm passing along some of the things to them that's not just basketball, that are life things that I learned from my coaches, like Denny McHenry, Rod Gorman, those guys that were impactful in my life when I was in high school.
Awesome, Ken. Was wanting to ask you if you could briefly recap and maybe give your thoughts on last season for the Lady Hornets.
You know what? I think we all, and the girls that are here still with me, would say that we didn't hit the mark we were shooting for last year. I think the year before we had been 3 or 4 years in a row, made it to the district championship and won one of those. But I don't think we hit the mark that we were trying to get to last year. So I see a little hunger in them this year. We're planning on getting back to that again, and hopefully maybe taking a shot at one of those plaques again. But last year, double-digit wins. I guess that was kind of nice. But we have different goals this year. We're planning on winning a whole lot of basketball games this year, and being a team that's considered one of the favorites to win a district, and maybe try to do even a little bit more than that.
Well, with that in mind, Ken, and the fact that basketball practices just started, a week ago or 10 days ago, how do you prepare your teams? How do you prepare your athletes in terms of preparation prior to that opening tip-off against Valley Park on the 22nd? You've got some senior leadership on the team,
Uh,
and I'm sure that will help out. But is it all about conditioning right now, or are you having to put in new wrinkles, new offenses, defenses? How does that work for you?
well, we are putting in a few different things, and that's one of the unique things of I think of being a small schools coach is you can't successfully do the same things year in year out because you are not going to have the clientele to always do what maybe you feel like is your specialty as a coach. So this year we have 12 girls. That's actually probably up from where we have been, but we also have some depth in girls that have varsity experience. So we're going to run 8 to 9 girls that have already played high school basketball, have played varsity basketball, and so this year to kind of get back to the first part of your question is, and I thought it was interesting you pointed out Valley Park. One of the things I've already said in multiple practices is, did we outwork Valley Park today? Okay, because we want to come out, we want to win that first game and get things heading in the right direction. But because we are senior heavy this year, and in fact, I anticipate that we're going to start 4 seniors, and it's been a long time since I could say we're going to start 4 seniors. We're diving more into things we're going to do gameplay than necessarily the time spent on skill set stuff, which it's a little different for me, but I like that. So we're a little further along than we would be most years, just because 3 out of my 4 seniors have been with me starting varsity since they were freshmen, and we got one new addition senior who is fitting right in right away. So we're definitely further along as far as being prepared for a game than we have been in several years.
Awesome, Coach. You graduated some important producers on the team. What can fans expect from the Hornets in terms of offensive and defensive styles this season?
Well, we have some athleticism, so we're going to change some things that we're going to do on defense. We got a couple young girls, freshmen and sophomores, that I kind of call long, lanky, get after type girls. So you're going to see us do a few more things than just picking you up at half court or even inside half court. But then we also we're going to be we got a nice combination. We're going to be able to score a little bit from the outside with when you talk about Abby Edwards and Molly Clemens and even Bella Hankins, girls that can shoot a little bit. But we're also going to play to one of our strengths, and that is obviously Kate Eisenbeis. And we have an addition. It's a foreign exchange student from Italy. Her name is Claudia Lamberti, and she is in every sense of the word, a power forward who can finish around the hoop. And so you'll see a little more post-to-post play with her, with the addition of her and Kate. They're really starting to gel together inside.
Well, I'm looking very forward to pronouncing that name on the air. I like the way that rolls. That's very very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask you about that. Obviously, so you've got a player that comes in and can make an impact for you right away. And you talked about the fact that you're probably going to start 4 seniors. But do you have any incoming freshmen or underclassmen that are going to have some key roles or spot roles for you? You think?
Yeah. We got 2 freshmen that are going to see some playing time for sure. One is the younger Hankins sister, Maya Hankins, and she was the leading scorer last year on the 8th grade. She's a big, strong girl on the inside. And then we have a girl who didn't play in junior high, who I've been on for the last few years, and she came out this summer, made everything that we did this summer, and she is going to just create that depth that we need with some of the new things that we're going to do because she is an athlete, and I mean baseline to baseline, sideline to sideline. This girl's kind of one of those track star type kids who can really wreak some havoc. So that's why I'm really excited about some of the new things that we're going to be able to do because we have girls that are young that we can use their athleticism and still not wear out the Mollys, Clemens, the Kate Eisenbeises of the world who we need to pull the rebound, get the ball to them on the other end so they can drop hopefully 15 to 20 a night.
Awesome, awesome. You talked a little bit about goals at the beginning of the interview here, and not being able to quite set those or kind of miss the mark. Are you setting team goals again this year? And do the players help set those goals, or is that mainly driven by you?
Well, we'll have a. I've already mentioned to them. It's time to start talking about that, and I want them to get theirs on a team and on an individual basis as well. And my assistant coach, Dave McDowell, who is a 30-something year, coach here at Crystal City, he really dives into that with him on an individual basis. But besides their individual goals, no, we'd like to have a winning season for the year, meaning more wins and losses on the year, which that doesn't always necessarily mean success at the end of the year because we're the smallest school in the county. We play, most of the time we're playing schools that are bigger than us. However, we're prepared for the end of the year when districts rolls around. But this year, one of our goals is to have more in the W column than the losses column, and we're definitely eyeing up participating in a district championship. Although it's really hard to know what your district is anymore,
Yeah.
especially with the way things are going to change with gender for districts and that as well. So, but that's always a goal of ours.
Well, Coach Jones, I think that you have reason definitely to be excited about this winter season. I think that success in other programs, as you mentioned, helps carry over and build that winning culture. And you've got some momentum now coming from the fall sports season that I think will help carry your over for basketball. We really appreciate you taking the time today with us, and we're very excited to see the Lady Hornets and see how they can do this year.
But we'll be looking forward to you guys coming and doing some of our games.
We appreciate it, there.
Excellent.
That's Ken Jones from the Crystal City Hornets. Hello again, and welcome to Main Street Sports. We are continuing another day of basketball coaches here for the Jefferson County area. Here we've got Coach Jason Jarvis from the Herculaneum Blackcats with us. How you doing, Coach?
Great. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about your season, last season here. Herculaneum Blackcats at a glance here: 17-9 overall record, 4-1 in the conference play, second in the JCAA small school. Fell to Park Hill Central in the Class 4 District 2 district semifinals. You lost 3 players to graduation. Is that correct, Jason?
Well, 2, yeah. 1 quit before, yeah. But
Okay. So 3, technically.
yeah.
Okay. And then you return the Main Street Sports Small School Player of the Year, Gabe Watkins. And, Coach, we're going to jump in here right away and give you a question here. Briefly recap the 21-22 season your team had last year.
Oh, we had a pretty good season. Started out really well. Started out 3-0 to start the season last year. I got an older team, which has been around me since they were in seventh grade. This group of seniors I've been waiting for, and Gabe having the co MVP on your team helps a little bit, and all these guys have been playing basketball together. Some of them have been playing basketball together since they were in third and fourth grade. So, good season last year. See where the districts fall this year, and hopefully, we'll make a run in districts this year.
And that's usually all about. It's all about, especially in basketball in this county in the small schools, is those district classifications. That's for sure, Coach. Uh, one of the players you're losing last year, for this year to graduation, is one of your big Dallin Fuller. Um, how are you going to try to fill that void of that having that big post player in there? Are you going to be able to run the same style offense? Are you going to have to change things up based on your personnel?
Well, we changed up things last year with Dallin. We tried to speed the game up a little bit. We ran basically man-to-man defense the entire season, and I plan on doing a lot of the same things we did last year. Just we won't have that 6'4" rim protector like we did in previous years. But I got some post players that have a lot of experience in Dylan Black and Lucas Barr that'll step in there, and then we got Moreland who did really well on the JV last year, and I think he's poised to have a good season at the varsity level. So you can't ever say replace someone like Dallin. But Dallin was inconsistent, and he would tell you that too. I mean, some games he'd score 22, the next game he'd have 3 or 4 points. So I think the guys that I have are going to be more consistent.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I would think you would want to throw that Jarvis kid into the mix too. He's got a pretty good nose for the rim too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting some big things out of Dylan, and he had a great summer. And him, Gabe, and some of my fellow seniors, Jackson Deering, they showed up to everything this summer, and we played pretty good ball all summer. And I know that doesn't always lead into the season, but I mean, you got guys that have been playing varsity basketball since they were sophomores. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this year we can really have a great season.
You've talked a lot about your juniors and seniors. Let's talk about maybe a freshman or a sophomore that might be an impact player. Any incoming freshmen or underclassmen that will help make an impact on the varsity squad?
Well, I don't know that any of my underclassmen will really make an impact on the varsity squad at sophomore or freshman level. I got Nate Wright, who's a little guard on the JV. He'll be a sophomore. He may be a kid that spells some minutes on the varsity. Um, Freshman wise, I think the only freshman I'd have that maybe be able to spell some time on varsity would be Tanner Duncan, and that's of course Jordan Duncan's younger brother. But I don't see me bringing up many sophomore or freshmen up on the varsity level. I'm going to have 6 seniors and 4 juniors right now, so those 10 will make up the bulk of the minutes on varsity.
Well, and speaking of those upperclassmen, Coach, who maybe one or two players are you really going to look to in that upper class of players to provide leadership on the floor this year for you?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to pick Gabe, and he's not only a leader by what he does, performance wise, but that kid will just work his butt off. Another good leader, of course, my son. He's been around basketball for a long time, and I think he'll do a good job. There's not really a senior I couldn't mention here. I mean, Deering gives us that attitude a little bit that helps a lot of times, and Dylan Black, he may be the hardest working kid I've ever coached, and he will be a leader. And I'm hoping that him, along with Barr and a few of these others, will pick up the slack that we're going to lose from Dallin Fuller.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about Gabe Watkins. You talked about him just briefly. I actually texted CB Walker today, Coach CB Walker over there, said, hey, man, great pickup over there. He signs his letter of intent to play at Jefferson College for 2023. For those who haven't seen him play, talk about what Gabe brings to the table in terms of talent and skill.
Well, the kid's the ultimate gym rat. He is in the gym, has a basketball with him everywhere he goes. I mean, they picked up a kid that, and I think this is is it Coach Walker, right? I haven't even spoke to
Yeah.
Coach Walker,
Mm-hmm.
so that'll tell you right there that Gabe's game speaks for itself. And one of the things that Coach Walker talked to him about was that he plays both ends of the floor. He's not just an offensive player. He gets after it on the defensive end. He provides a lot of steals. I think he averaged, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 4 steals last year. He rebounds as a guard. He had 4.3 rebounds a game last year. I mean, Gabe's the real deal. He does everything. And, I mean, a lot of teams are going to set to try to stop him. And I think I have enough guys around Gabe that can also put the ball in the hole. So I think we're going to be a tough out every week.
Well, and just to expound on that a little bit, in my opinion, in watching Gabe play, and obviously a highly entertaining player to watch, he sees the game differently than most. We talk about great players having great vision, Coach, but he also sees it at a different speed a lot of times. I've seen him make plays or try to make plays that will translate well at the college level that maybe some high schoolers are just can't get to that speed and recognition of an opening or a pass and things like that. So, in my opinion, he's almost ready to go right now.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I don't want him to go right now, so we're gonna enjoy this season while we can. But yeah, he makes plays sometimes that are too fast for some of our kids on the court, and some of the younger guys are learning that already in practice. It kind of reminds me of, and you guys didn't probably see Brandon Mays play back in the day, but Brandon was a lot like Gabe when he'd hit you in the face with a pass, you just didn't expect to get it, and Gabe does that. Gabe does that sometimes. He'll put a ball where someone should be, but that person's just not as savvy as him.
Right. And that'll translate better to the college level. But final question for you, Coach. What does a successful 2022-23 season look like to you and to your team? Have you talked about setting goals yet?
We've talked a little bit about it. I mean, the first goal is to get in that championship game at the Crystal City tournament. And, chronologically, as the season goes on, there's some games we have circled there. I mean, we were 4-1 in the conference. We had a chance to win that conference championship last year, and we blew it the first game against Pius. So that's a goal for not only me but our players. They want to win that conference championship, and that's something they're really looking forward to. And then the Christmas tournament, we'd like to win more than just one game down there. We want to put a showing on down there if we can. And it all starts that first jamboree, and then that first game against Bayless on November 22nd.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time, and good luck to you this season. We hope to see you down the road here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all your guys' coverage of live stream.
That is Jason Jarvis from the Herculaneum Black Cats. We will be back with another coach here shortly.